It is the 30th of December. This is Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay,
So are we still in Kedushin?
so let's get
We finished that.
back into it. We have a very hot topic over here. Good morning, Rabbi Yechiel. Good morning, everybody. Anybody else who's out there? Oh, that's all there is. Okay,
Just us chickens.
so let's start. So we were we saw what the Pele Yoetz says over here, and we were looking in a Gemara at the citation of the Hebrew Pele Yoetz, Kedushin Daf Ayin Amid Aleph.
I'm going to go get Kedushin.
And
Okay.
good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Now, why can I not hear anybody? I don't know why.
Check your volume.
I'm speaking.
Oh, there we are. Okay,
Oh.
good.
You can hear us now. Good.
I can even put on the speaker.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that helps you to hear.
This is even better than the computer, I think. Okay, so
What did I do with my phone?
I didn't bring the Gemara with me. Oh, I didn't bring the Gemara with me. That's too bad. Let's see. Maybe I should just take a look. I'll go get the Gemara again. Just a second. Okay. Let's see. Right. So what happened over here? So we're on the bottom of 70A. Last two lines. Shadale Mar Shlomo Lealta. Reb Nachman said to his colleague Reb Yehuda, these are two Amoraim. Let the master send greetings of Shalom to Yalta. Who is Yalta? There's Rashi Shem Ishto. It apparently is Reb Yehuda's wife. So here we see that Reb Nachman is sending greetings of Shalom to Reb Yehuda's wife. Amalei. So Reb Yehuda said back to him, Hachi Amar Shmuel, Kol be'isha erva. So what is the pshat over here? Rashi says, Kol be'isha erev. This is what we were trying to figure out. Shenema hishmi'eni es kolech. Hashem says, Kilu to Klal Yisrael, let me hear your voice. V'imashal. Okay, so that's the pasuk, and then Rashi continues to explain what the statement of Rav Yehuda was. V'im eshal, if I'm going to ask Bishlomo, if I'm going to inquire about her shalom, her welfare, Teshiveni, she's going to answer me. Yeah, right. She's going to answer. Yeah. She's going to answer. And then I will hear her voice. But what's the problem with Rabbi Yehuda hearing his wife's voice? Not getting it.
There's another question that I would ask, and that is that, at least nowadays, it's an expression. If I say regards to your wife, I'm not expecting an answer. I'm expecting him to just say, Lou mentioned you. Lou sent good wishes to you.
Right.
She's not going to answer. He's not going to call me back and say, "Oh, I told my wife and she said blah de blah." And certainly she's not going to call me and say, "Oh, my husband told me you said hello." Well, blah de blah. That never happens.
Yeah. Okay. I hear. Okay, maybe we could make a chiluk then between what's going on in the Gemara and what's done today. That would be good. So, in any case, so that's what he said over here. Rav Nachman responding now. He's saying back, Efsher al yedei shliach. It would seem that that's Rav Nachman responding back, that it is Efsher al yedei shliach. That's the way Rashi is Goris. Rashi is Goris Omerle Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman said to him, it's possible al yedei shliach. Efsher lishloach Allah she'ilas shalom al yedei shliach. And then Rav Nachman is not hearing the voice of Rav Yehuda's wife. Rav Yehuda's hearing her voice. And Amalei, he said back, meaning Rav Yehuda said back to Rav Nachman, he said, Hachi Amar Shmuel. Shmuel said, Ein sholim b'shalom isha. Al yedei bala. It's a very difficult reading over here. It's not clear whether he's saying all those words or that's the words of Rav Nachman again. Oh yeah, Rashi. Okay, Rashi's helping us out over here with his girsa. So all that Rav Yehuda said was "Ein sholim b'sholem isha." That's what Shmuel said, and Rashi says "Shema mitok shila shalom yu regilim zeim zeh al yidei shlucham yavo lidei chiba." That's what we said yesterday. That it's not even if she doesn't hear he doesn't hear her voice, but nevertheless the passing back and forth of greetings is causes it may cause chiba, may cause endearment between the two. So on that, Amalei Rabbi Yehuda said, Ali de Bala. Through her husband. What does he mean by that? Says Rashi, Amalei Rab Nachman Ali de Bala, Ehiyeh Ani Shliach Ledavar. I will be the shliach in the matter. Yeah, right. You'll be the shliach. So that's what Rabbi Yehuda said. You can't do. What's he answering him back? It's very difficult reading. In any case,
Well, maybe he's responding to the point about the endearment. And he's saying that might be true if the husband was not in the middle, but if the husband's in the middle, then the wife's not going to become endeared to the friend.
if the Baal is the shliach to give over the message, so then you're saying there won't be endearment.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So shouldn't he have said, you'll be my shliach in this matter? Why is he saying, I'll be your shliach in this matter? I don't know. It's a very difficult Gemara. Okay, so the bottom line, last line, Omar Le, Hachi Omar Shmuel. Rabbi Yehuda is saying back, so said Shmuel, Ein Sholim B'Sholom, Isha Klal. Meaning to say, says Rashi, Ein Sholim B'Sholom Isha Klal, Shemar Gil, Liba, V'Data, Etzlo. So according to not going to help to do it through a husband. Okay.
Why not? I'm not following that. It becomes, they become accustomed to come to the knowledge themselves.
Even, in other words, even through the husband, but the message is being sent between the two parties. So even if the husband is the one who's sending it, it's possible that they will. It's possible that they will come to think of one another, and there'll be a certain closeness between them. Good morning, Roy. Alan is not. Okay, I don't see him on the screen yet, but I'll be looking for him. Thanks for the heads up. Bye. Okay. Okay. Now there's a Tosus over here. We'll take a look at Tosus. Oh, you want to know why is there no endearment if it's done through the husband? I don't know. I mean, I don't really understand why that would that would obviate the possibility of endearment. I don't really understand why that make a difference who's the one that relates the message.
Okay, well, maybe I'm not following the flow of how to break up these statements. Here's my understanding. Going back to Ahmed Aleph. Damar
Yeah.
Shmuel, Kol Be'isha Arva. There's a period after Arva.
Right.
The
That's
voice of a woman is lewd. Efshar al yidei shaliach. Period. So it's possible through a shaliach, because if there's a shaliach, then you're not hearing the voice, so you don't have the problem. Now, the answer to that is Amar Lei, he said to him, Hachi Amar Shmuel. This is what Shmuel said. Ein shoalin b'shalom isha, period. Don't ask for the well-being of a woman. That was the statement. Now the response to that is al yidei bala. What about if it's through the husband? Period. So I'm saying, what is this statement al yidei bala? What is it doing in here? It's a response to the statement, don't ask the well-being of a woman. And it seems to me that the supposition is, well, maybe if it's the husband that you're asking through the husband, then this statement of Shmuel doesn't really apply. It's an exception because the husband is involved. You look at Rashi and you say, what's the problem with, according to Shmuel, what's the problem with asking about a woman? He says there'll be endearment. So I'm saying, well, so it must be that this statement, al yidei bala, is coming to say, well, maybe there's no endearment if the husband is involved. That's my supposition.
But what's the svara? What? Think about it for a moment. True that that's what he's saying, but we have to understand what's the sense of it.
Okay, so I'm saying once the husband is involved, it's going to put a damper on the imagination. If it's the husband that's saying to the wife, Ruvain says hi, it's different than if it's a third party. She's going to say, well, if he's saying hi, if he's telling my husband say hi, obviously he's not trying to endear himself to me. He's just being polite.
Oh, because he said it to the husband to say. Okay, so now I just thought of something over here that maybe we got the whole story wrong. We don't know who this wife is over here. And it goes back to the first Rashi of Kol Be'isha Erba, which we never really understood. And,
right.
And I think the root of the problem is because we didn't read the whole story over here from the beginning. We don't know whose wife it is that we're talking about.
We know it's Alta, Yalta.
But whose wife is Yalta? Who's Yalta's husband?
Oh, his wife.
Yeah, Rashi doesn't say that, and I think the reason he doesn't say it clearly is because if we've been following this story up until now, we know who it is that he's talking about, I assume. But it's not really to help. I don't understand really why Rashi didn't tell us specifically. But it seems to me that what might be happening over here You know what? Let's take a look over here at this whole thing over here, just for a moment.
Sorry, is Alan, you looked for Alan?
Alan, I don't see Alan on the,
Alan
Doesn't-
just
I don't-
called me. I'm gonna call him back.
oh, now Alan's calling me. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna hang up then.
Hi, Alan, I don't see you're trying to get in. You got the right link? It's my new link. Okay, very good.
Is he good?
I still don't see Alan, but maybe,
Should I send
I
him a
know he's
link?
trying to get in. Okay, that would make it much easier, I'm sure.
All right, I'm gonna
Right.
email him a link. Okay, I sent him a link.
Oh, here's Alan.
Baruch Hashem.
The minute you sent him a link, his name appeared on the screen.
Wow, that's powerful. So we're trying to figure out who Yalta is, whose wife she is.
Yeah.
I think Yalta is Rav Yehuda's wife.
Well, it says Ishto, his wife.
Does
So
our scroll say whose wife it is? Because I'll tell you why I have this suspicion. My suspicion is that it's Rav Nachman's wife. But why I say that is because then the Rashi makes sense. When Rashi says when Rashi's explaining Shmuel's response, not Shmuel. When Rashi's explaining Rav Yehuda's response, in other words, like this. What's step one? Step one is that it's that Rav Nachman said to Rav Yehuda, Nishadir le mar shloma lealta. Send shalom. Let the master send shalom to Yalta. Right? And Rashi just says, Shem Ishto, that's his wife. Whose wife? Rav Nachman's or Rav Yehuda? So then what does he say back? Amarle, that's Rav Yehuda talking. He says, oh no, I cannot do that. Because Shmuel said, Kol be'isha erva. What does he mean? Now, says Rashi just brings a pasuk. Shenemar, it says in the pasuk, Ashmieni es kolech, ki arevhu. Is the whole pasuk. Let me hear your voice because your voice is very, very sweet, very pleasing. And then Rashi says, V'im eshol b'shlomo, if I will ask her welfare, tishiveni, she's going to answer me. Who's talking? Who's Rashi saying is the one who's saying those words? Rav Nachman. And Rashi prefaced his remarks by saying Kol Isha Erva. I mean, that's what Rav Nachman himself said. So if we say like this, listen to this possibility. Let's say that who's Yalta? Yalta is Rav Nachman's wife, not Rav Yehuda's wife. It's Rav Nachman's wife. So what's happening over here? Rav Nachman, for some reason which I don't understand, but that might be because we didn't read the whole story beforehand. Rav Nachman is saying to Rav Yehuda, send Shalom to Yalta, my wife. Rav Nachman's wife.
So he's saying to Reb Nachman, he's saying to Reb Yehuda, go over to my house and tell my wife, hi, how are you?
We have this difficulty that when we translate these words, Nishader le Mar Shlomo, send Shalom to Yalta. Send Shalom to Yalta. What does that mean, send Shalom to Yalta? I don't know exactly what it means, to tell you the truth, but one thing I do know, that Reb Nachman's response was, I cannot do that. Why? Because Kol Isha Erva. Why? What does that have to do with it? Because when I ask her about her shalom, when I inquire about her welfare, what's she going to do? She's going to answer me, right? Right? She's going to answer me. Oh, and then I'm going to hear her voice. I'm going to hear your wife's voice. And that I can't do.
That makes sense to me because the next statement is Efshar al Yudei Shliach. So maybe what's happening is Rev Nachman says to Rev Yehuda. I'm sorry, Yehuda. Rev Nachman says to Rev Yehuda, send shalom to my wife. Rev Yehuda thinks that means that I, Rev Yehuda, should go directly and tell Yalta. And now the Gemara is saying, no, maybe what Rev Yehuda meant was not that you should go directly and tell her, you should get a third party. Right. Go tell your sister or your wife to go say hello to her.
Right.
So then the answer to that is that you're gonna still, it's going to become endearment. Now it makes sense because the husband's not the intermediary.
Oh,
it's going to be endearment now because there's a communication going on, albeit indirectly, between Reb Yehuda and Yalta.
Okay.
So now the answer to that is her husband, but that does not make sense now because how can it be her husband? We just said that her husband is the one who told him in the first place.
Okay, so now we got the very good
Loop.
Okay, so now let's take a look at what Rashi says over here. Amar le Rav Nachman al Yadei Bala. This is the second line of Rashi on 70b.
Right.
Amar le Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman responded to Rav Yehuda when he said, you can't do that. Ain't shalom shalom isha. Rav Nachman said, al Yadei Bala. It's being done through her husband, meaning to say, Eya ani shaliach ledavar. I will be Eya ani. I will be the emissary in this matter.
I have a technical question for you. The Dibur Maskil says Amar Le Reb Nachman Al Yidei Bala,
Yeah,
but the Gemara doesn't say Amar Le Reb Nachman. It just
Right.
says Al Yidei Bala. Is this the same Dibur Maskil?
yeah, it's a good question. But truth to be told, we had the same problem on the bottom of Amud Aleph. That what was our problem? The Gemara did not say that it was Reb Nachman that responded. The Gemara just say Efshir al Yidei Shliach. When Reb Yehuda demurred and said that Shmuel says it's Aser, Reb Nachman, we understood Efshir al Yidei Shliach is the words of Reb Nachman, and the Gemara doesn't say that those are the words of Reb Nachman. Didn't say Omer le Reb Nachman, but Rashi over here, you have in your Rashi the Dibur Maskil Omer le Reb Nachman.
Yes. You're right. I didn't notice that before.
So it seems like Rashi's, in other words, Rashi's Dibur Maskil is that's his text. That's his text. That's his reading of the text of the Gemara, which makes the Gemara easier to understand. Who's the one that's talking and who's the one that's saying which words. But so in any case, so back to the Omer le Reb Nachman Al Yidei Bala.
Oh, so you have the same extra phrase in both of those Dibur Maskilim.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Dibure Hamaskil, actually. You want to be technical about it.
What is the word? Iburi?
Just like you say Beis HaKnesses, that's one Beis HaKnesses. And if you want to say more than one, you say Bate Knesset. But you don't change the word Knesset.
Right.
You just say Bate. Bate is
Plural.
alludes to more than, plural. Yeah. So over
Like-
here also, Dibure Hamaskil.
Oh, I see. You're telling me how to pluralize it.
Not maskilim. Maskilim is those are those people in Vilna 100 years ago.
Okay. So if we're going to assume that this is the correct Dibur Maskil, then the way it reads is Ein Shoalin B'Shalom Isha. Don't ask the well-being of a woman. Amar le Rav Nachman Al Yidei Bala. So Rav Nachman responds to the statement of Shmuel. But Shmuel is not present. It's actually Rabbi Yehuda who's quoting Shmuel, right?
Well, Rabbi Yehuda and Rav Nachman are having a conversation between them.
Right. So when it says Amar le Hachi Amar Shmuel,
Yeah,
it's
Shmuel
Rabbi
is
Yehuda who's saying to Reb Nachman,
right,
this is what Shmuel said about this topic.
right.
And Reb Nachman is answering and saying, okay, send it by the husband. Problem is, Rav Nachman is the husband in this case, according to our presumption. So how can he be saying, send it by the husband? It's like saying, send it, well, then send it by me. I just told you, send shalom to my wife. And you said, well, I don't want to hear her voice. So he says, well, send it by me. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let's see, 1 second. Okay, step one was that we got to get this straight over here. Rav Nachman says to Rav Yehuda, send inquiries about the shalom of my wife Yalta. And Rav Yehuda responds that he is not able to do that because if he's going to ask her, she's going to answer him, and that's called Isha Erba. On that, that's step two. Step three, Amalei Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman responds, Efshal Yidei Shliach. It's possible, says Rashi, to send her Shilas Shalom through a Shliach. You don't have to be the one. You, Rav Yehuda, don't have to be the one to send Shilas Shalom to inquiries about her welfare personally. You can send a Shliach to do that. And then you will not hear her voice. Okay, that's step three. Step four is that on the top of 70b now, that we actually had an Omar Shmuel on the bottom of 70a. Okay, that helps. 1 second. Omar Le Hachi Omar Shmuel. Yeah. That's step four. Rabbi Yehuda is saying, Hachi Omar Shmuel. Shmuel said, Ein Shalom b'Shalom Isha.
Wait. Who's speaking now?
This is Rav Yehuda, the one who originally demurred the request of Rav Nachman.
So Rav Nachman said, use a shliach. And now Rav Yehuda is answering that, correct?
Yeah, right. He's
Okay.
saying, so said Shmuel, Ein Sholim b'Shalom Isha. And that's the Rashi that explained us that even though he's not going to hear her voice, because he's not going to be the one who's going to go over to her and directly inquire of her welfare, but if he sends a shliach to do this, so then the shliach, I guess, is going to say that that Rav Nachman, not Rav Nachman, that Rav Yehuda sent me to inquire of your welfare, and that says Rav Yehuda that Shmuel said is forbidden. Okay, we got it so far?
Yep.
Now, step five, Amalei Rav Nachman, according to Rashi's Girsa. Rav Nachman said to him, Al Yidei Shliach. Al Yidei Bala, he said. He said, Al Yidei Bala. Now, what does that mean, Al Yidei Bala? Says Rashi, ani shliach l'davar. I will be the emissary in the matter. Now,
Because I am the Baal.
but this cannot mean that Rav Yehuda is going to ask, maybe this is what it means. The story doesn't make any sense. Does this mean that Rev Nachman is now volunteering to go over to his wife and be the shliach of Rev Yehuda to ask his own wife's shalom as a shliach for Rev Yehuda?
Yeah, that's what it means.
It's ridiculous.
Here's the way I read it now that you've enlightened me. So Rev Nachman says to Rev Yehuda, go tell my wife, go inquire about my wife's well-being. Rev Yehuda says, I can't do that because it's against the halacha.
I'm going to ask her and she's going to answer me, and that's Kol Isha Ereva.
Right. So
My wife.
Rev Nachman says, well, okay, maybe it'll work if you do it with a shaliach.
Yeah.
And Rev Yehuda says, no, that won't work either. So Rev Nachman says, okay, I'll go tell her myself. I'll be the intermediary.
Right.
In other words, he realized that he couldn't figure out a way to get around the problems that Rev Yehuda was bringing up. At first, he said, go do it, but he didn't realize that it wasn't going to work. Rev Yehuda pointed out to him that it wouldn't work. And they went back and forth with a couple of iterations trying to figure out how to make it work until finally he said, okay, the only way it's going to work is if I'm the shliach.
Okay. So now we've come full circle. It was really okay. We'll leave that full circle out of it. Let's not complicate matters. And so now, what do we have on the table? We have on the table that Rav Nachman is going to go to his wife Yalta and say to her that Rav Yehuda, I was sent by Rav Yehuda, I'm a shliach for Rav Yehuda to inquire about your welfare. How are you? Okay.
Or maybe it's not, maybe the phrase that says, what is the phrase? It says, Shalema Lialta, the Shalema of Yalta. Maybe it's not inquiring. Maybe it's not something that requires an answer. Maybe it's just saying, I hope you're well. I wish you well.
Right. So
all that Reb Nachman's going to say to Yalta is, Reb Yehuda wishes you well.
Right. Okay. Now, is that okay? Would that have no chashash whatsoever of causing endearment?
That's my supposition, is that because it's her husband that's saying it, that's going to put a damper on the endearment factor. I'm not saying it will knock it out completely, but
yeah.
Judging by the source, she's not going to be feeling too romantic about Reb Yehuda when her husband's standing right in front of her.
Or I thought of another point over here that there's a difference between, and I think we're going to see this in the if you want to go into this any further, what the poskim talk about on this Gemara is that there would be a difference between an act which is sort of like called derech eretz, proper conduct, and engaging in words of that could lead that could bring endearment. And if one man says to another man, send shalom to your wife through me. It's a matter of derech eretz. He's showing his friend. One man is showing the other man, who's his friend, I'm concerned about your wife's welfare. That's all.
Right.
Just like you're concerned about your wife's welfare. I hope that she's doing well. I'm also saying that. So it's not like I'm causing that my words are that's why I'm saying that. So in that case, if it's simply a matter of good manners, let's say, or showing concern for the person, you're showing really, what is he doing? He's showing concern for the man, because the man is certainly concerned about his wife. Hopefully he's concerned about his wife, right? So when you're showing concern for his wife, what you're doing is you're showing concern for the man, for your friend who's the man. You're allowed to be friends with him. You're allowed to be close to him. So that would that makes it less of a chashash, perhaps, of coming to endearment.
Right.
And so that's what Rav Nachman is saying over here. If I would go myself as your shliach to send shalom to my own wife, what about that? Would that do? And on that, Rav Yehuda says to him, Amalei. He says to him, Amalei. Hachi Amar Shmuel. Ein sholim b'sholom isha klal. Says Rashi. Now, before you get to Rashi, what does he mean? Ein shalom b'isha klal. That l'chora is Rav Yehuda's take on what Shmuel said. Meaning to say, Shmuel didn't say specifically about this case where the husband is the shliach for his own wife of another man. But it would seem that this is the way Rav Yehuda is understanding the words of Shmuel. Shmuel said, Ein sholim b'isha. And what that means is klal. He didn't make any exceptions to that rule. That's the rule. Says Rashi, and there's a svara to that as well. Says Rashi, Shemargil, Liba B'daita, Etzla. That even like that, there is some type of a hergel, some type of of something that leads. It could lead to a kiruv das, a thinking about that person and a closeness of that person.
So this word shemaragil, it means to become accustomed to?
It's a good question. This word is
it like the ragil that we usually translate it as regular?
it's I don't know if we have to say that it's the perhaps my question is, are we saying that it's the derech that's what it'll lead to, or we're just saying that it's possible that it's possible that that could be the first step that's going to lead to endearment between them.
Well, this phrase, ledasa etzlo, knowledge in and of itself.
No, her mind is gonna think of him. Her mind is gonna turn to him. She's gonna set her mind on Rabbi Yehuda.
So etzlo is Rabbi Yehuda, and da'asa is her mind, is the wife's mind.
Oh, so this word etzlo, it's interesting because I have a correction in my Gemara that instead of etzlo, which would be a man, etzlo with a hey, which would be a woman, which is referring to Yalta.
So it mean herself?
So it would seem as though there's two. It would seem that there's a way to understand with a vav and there's a way to understand with a hey. In other words, liba and da'ata is referring to her heart and her mind. Etzlo means to him, to Rabbi Yehuda, and with a hey it would be Yalta. In other words, are we saying that the etzlo is that there's going to be a trend that that her heart and her minds are going to be turning to there's going to be between one is going to think of the other and the other one's going to think of the other one. I think that's the difference between when you say etzlo and etzlo.
So in other words, this statement, Ein Shoalin B'Shalom Isha Klal, according to Rashi, means regardless of whether it's a shliach, whether it's the husband or not, the process of communication between Rabbi Yehuda and Yalta is going to engender endearment.
Okay.
Right.
Time's up.
Time is up. Okay.
Very good.
We continue in this?
Yeah, sure. This is a hot topic here.
Yeah. This is very, very difficult. Gemara. Okay,
Okay.
so Monday,
Bezrat Hashem, Sunday.
Sunday, I'm sorry, Sunday, what am I saying? Yeah. I'm back in America's schedule.
Okay. All the best to Mayor. Have a great
Okay. Have a